Let's jump right in. Today, we're unpacking the grand finale of Season 1 of the Biohacking Consciousness course. We're zeroing in on a brilliant real-world application of Dr. Sharivia's Resonance Clarity Framework, focusing specifically on the personal pillar. Now, if you've been following along with us, you know we've been tracking our main character, Alex. We've watched her learn to navigate the wildly stressful, chaotic waters of daily life. Well, in this final episode, called The Power of the Tuning Fork, literally everything Alex has learned gets put to the ultimate test. It's a fascinating look at how mastering our internal biology can completely transform our external reality. So, let's get into it. Have you ever absorbed someone else's stress until you felt absolutely, completely exhausted? We've all been there, right? You walk into a room where someone is totally panicking, or you get off the phone with an angry relative and, boom, suddenly you just feel drained, anxious, and heavy. That exact feeling is the mud we are dropping into today as we look at Alex's chaotic Sunday afternoon.
Just think about the incredible contrast here. The old Alex from the beginning of this season was essentially an energetic sponge. She was completely absorbing her friend Maya's distress over a breakup, or she was playing the fierce defender, literally barking at her husband David over a frustrating email. She was carrying around what Dr. V calls a 40-pound metabolic heavy bag of unvetted anxieties. That's a huge burden. But look at the new Alex. She has completely unbuckled that heavy bag. She's slowly transitioned into a state where she's traveling light, taking on challenges from a totally new baseline.
This transition perfectly maps out the actual internal biological shift Alex is making. And really, this is the absolute core of the Resonance Clarity Framework. You see, when we operate from the incoherent mind, we are locked in the absorber frequency, just soaking up everyone else's chaos like a sponge. When we feel threatened, we shift into the protector mind and its defender frequency, which means fighting, snapping, and arguing. But Alex's goal today, the ultimate goal of this entire framework, is to reach the aligned mind. That's where you access the resonator frequency. Up there, you no longer absorb or defend. Instead, you set the tone.
Up first, calming the chaotic husband.
So Alex's Sunday kicks off with her husband David discovering a leaking pipe that's threatening to completely flood the floor. Predictably, he immediately spirals into an absolute panic. Now, in the past, this kind of emotional weather would have instantly triggered Alex's incoherent mind. She would have panicked right along with him, metabolizing his chaos until she was completely wiped out, but not today. The crucial point here is how she responds biologically. Instead of joining his panic, she uses a highly specific, actionable somatic grounding biohack. Step 1, she plants her feet flat on the floor. Step 2, she drops her shoulders. Step 3, she takes 3 deep breaths. She isn't just trying to calm down, she is actively, physically signaling biological safety to her own nervous system.
And wow, this brilliantly illustrates the core concept of this finale, the calm tuning fork effect. By grounding herself, Alex literally becomes a frequency anchor in the room, without speaking a single word, without arguing, without telling David to just calm down. Her grounded presence does all the heavy lifting. Thanks to our biological mirror neurons, David's nervous system begins to organically mirror her alignment, naturally pulling him back from the edge of panic.
Next up, deflecting the cynical brother.
So, just as David finally calms down, the universe decides to send another test. Her brother Jock calls, and he is cynically venting and complaining about a recent career setback. Let's look at how Alex handles this using another universal principle from Dr. V's framework, the lotus leaf principle. Just think about how water behaves on a lotus leaf. It doesn't soak in, it beats up and rolls right off. Alex applies this beautifully here. She remains waxily impervious to Jack's negativity. She listens, sure, but she absolutely does not allow his toxic emotional weather to soak into her own identity.
While she's on the phone with him, she uses a silent internal technique called affect labeling. She simply tells herself, "This is just my unaligned mind absorbing. I am not that mind." It's so simple, but by giving the feeling a label and intentionally separating it from her core identity, she keeps her prefrontal cortex totally online. Her logic center stays in total control, preventing her from getting emotionally hijacked by her brother's bad day.
Moving on to our third challenge, disarming the aggressive neighbor. Now we hit the final, escalating climax of the afternoon. Alex steps outside only to be confronted by her neighbor, John, who is loudly complaining about a property boundary dispute. Think about this progression. We've gone from a panicked husband to a cynical brother to a literally aggressive neighbor. Facing outside aggression is the ultimate trigger for the protector mind. We all know that instinct, right? The one that screams at you to snap back, to yell, to vigorously defend your territory. But Alex absolutely refuses to trip that biological circuit breaker. She completely bypasses the defender frequency, cutting off what would normally become a vicious cycle of snacking and defending that could ruin her entire week.
Instead of reacting, she isolates the situation using the critical aligned mind question. She asks herself, what is actually mine and what is not? Just by asking this, she recognizes that her neighbor's aggression is his frequency, not hers. She successfully maintains her emotional sovereignty. Operating from her center, she responds with absolute clarity, and that organically de-escalates the conflict before it can even truly begin.
You really have to look at the incredible result of this biohacking. Her home used to be a tactical negotiation zone, completely full of stress and the massive metabolic cost of hosting everybody else's anxieties. But because she took responsibility for her own resonance, she has shifted her entire home environment into a peaceful ecosystem. She is traveling light, and she hasn't lost any energy despite facing 3 major emotional hurdles in a single afternoon. It's a total game changer.
Now, it's absolutely crucial to understand that Alex's success isn't just some fictional magic. It's actually based on a highly validated system. The Resonance Clarity Framework was developed by Dr. Shuri V and the Superconscious Humanities Organization. And this is not some passing fad. Dr. V has over 30 years of global experience delivering life skills and consciousness-based transformation across multiple continents. We're talking everywhere from emerging countries in Africa to corporate boardrooms in North America, working with literally everyone from Olympians to primary school children. And honestly, the best part is that you can discover your own baseline frequency right now. You do not have to stay stuck in reactivity. I highly, highly encourage you to go to drv.com and take the 7-day Interstate Reset. You can start with their free Interstate Discovery tool just to find out exactly where your baseline is, whether you're currently operating as an absorber, a defender, or a resonator. From there, you get a custom results-based audio track and kick off a 7-day integration journey to completely reset your interstate to a higher frequency. It's incredibly practical and totally accessible for anyone.
Finally, looking ahead to Season 2, the corporate pillar. So, as the sun sets on a seriously victorious Sunday, a notification pings on Alex's laptop. It's an invitation to lead a high-stakes, multi-million-dollar tech firm merger. In that exact moment, she realizes that the mud of her family dynamics was really just the training ground. The real test is going to be taking her lotus leaf anchor right into the high-pressure waters of the professional boardroom. And this proves the foundational philosophy of Dr. V's work. True leadership is not about managing other people, it is entirely about mastering the biological signal within yourself first.
Which wraps up our explainer for today, but I want to leave you with one vital question to think about. Are you ready to unbuckle your metabolic heavy bag and become the calm tuning fork in your own life? The tools are out there, the biology is already within you, and the choice of which frequency you tune into is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll catch you next time as we continue exploring how to elevate our human potential.